Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, hackers released stolen EA files with a serious threat. Halo Infinite might get a beta soon, Apex Season 10 is looking epic, and much more. Hackers that claim they stole the source code for multiple EA titles and the Frostbite engine have released a database of stolen files. They're withholding some user data from The Sims 4 and a remote code execution, aka a hack, that works on most Frostbite games. They're still demanding a ransom for the files they haven't released and the RCE. The hackers just released the database this morning, and EA haven't publicly responded to it yet. When the hack first happened a few months ago, EA confirmed it was a legitimate breach but assured customers it wouldn't compromise their games. And what this all potentially means for multiplayer titles like FIFA and Battlefield could be vulnerability to some very serious exploits. Having the source code for a game doesn't necessarily give you the keys to the castle, but it does give cheat developers a look behind the curtain. Source code is the unencrypted code used to compile the encrypted version of the game, which is what we all play. Having this code means that they can see the game's inner workings and possibly how it encrypts sensitive data that hackers could manipulate to create exploits. Something similar happened a little over a year ago to Valve and Team Fortress 2. Source code for that game leaked online, and hackers overran Team Fortress 2 servers with malicious bots. Valve released an update last month that fixed many exploits, but the game is still full of hackers and malicious bots. The situation is very concerning, especially given DICE's anti-cheat track record with its previous Battlefield games. These days, hackers seem to run free on just about every Battlefield game. EA and DICE have both promised better anti-cheat measures are being developed for their games, but there's no telling what that means, let alone if it'll be effective against hackers armed with source code. The hackers saying that they already have an RCE is doubly concerning because it means that they found exploits to create software to abuse them. In other Battlefield news, a former DICE developer said that he's disappointed that so many unreleased Battlefield 5 assets are being used for the 1942 content in Battlefield 2042's Portal mode. He deleted his original tweet, but it suggested DICE were working on a Battle of the Bulge map for Battlefield 5 at one point. The game notoriously has dozens of unused assets that were left unfinished because support was prematurely cancelled. The interesting thing is that many players seem to be happy with the decision to have used these assets for Portal instead of continuing to support Battlefield 5 with them. Multiplayer beta for Halo Infinite could go live in the next few weeks. The latest dev blog for the game says 343 are very close to launching the game's first technical test. The first wave of testing could kick off as early as this coming weekend. Before the beta goes live, 343 will host a live stream covering what it offers. The first wave of beta invites will include hundreds of thousands of players. To get an invite, you'll need to be a member of the Halo Insider program. Assuming you're invited, you'll be able to stream and record gameplay. The beta is based on a build that's a few months old, so don't expect a highly polished experience. Infinite is scheduled to launch this holiday season for Xbox and PC. The multiplayer will be free to play. The gameplay trailer for Apex Legends Season 10 is here. Emergence makes big changes to the World's Edge map and the new Legend Seer, a new LMG, ranked arenas, and more. The update will go live on August 3rd. In the trailer, we get a proper look at Seer's abilities. His ultimate deploys a dome that slows enemies caught in its radius, his tactical highlights enemies' footsteps through walls, and his passive ability shows enemies' heartbeats when aiming with a gun. The new Rampage LMG can be charged with a thermite grenade to increase its rate of fire. When charged, it can also break doors. As for the map changes, the new version of World's Edge looks interesting. Lava flows and destruction have been spread throughout the map, destroying entire areas and transforming the landscape. New gondolas have also been added that players can ride between points of interest. Basically, the whole map has gotten an extensive facelift. Early reviews of Microsoft Flight Simulator on Xbox Series X are very positive. Most are saying that the performance of the overall experience is about as good as you could hope for. The only major sticking point is that the third-party tools and add-ons that make Flight Sim into a proper game are currently PC exclusives. These tools and add-ons include enhanced navigation systems, route planning, trip logging, community-generated objectives, and more. In a nutshell, the Flight Sim console experience is a bit more like the vanilla version on PC. You have planes and you fly them in an incredibly realistic and beautiful world. There's not much else to the game beyond that though. But if just flying planes is what you're looking for, Flight Sim is still the most accessible and impressive title in that genre. Microsoft Flight Sim launches on Xbox Series consoles July 27th. The PC version is also getting an update at the same time that dramatically improves its performance. New GPU leaks ran wild over the weekend. Some suggest AMD's next-generation GPUs could offer 3 times the core count of their current high-end card, the RX 6900 XT. AMD recently announced stacked chiplet designs are in development for the Ryzen CPUs, and it sounds like this technology is also being applied to their GPUs to some extent. The result is a massive performance boost in GPU die with the same footprint as existing technology. Meanwhile, leaks about NVIDIA RTX 40 series GPUs hint at a late 2022 launch window. Rumors about the core counts on these new GPUs suggest that they'll have double the cores. That might not mean double the performance though, just like AMD tripling their core counts doesn't mean triple the FPS. The New World beta peaked at 200,000 concurrent players over the weekend. By all accounts, that's a massive win for its developer, Amazon. They've struggled to release a popular title despite multiple attempts. New World still has a ways to go before it's as fleshed out and polished as, in my opinion, it needs to be, but it's still a considerable achievement for Amazon. I recently covered the beta in a live gameplay video, so be sure to check that out if you're curious about New World. Valve clarified their 30 FPS target statement about testing the Steam Deck's performance. Last week they said every game they've tested runs fine on Steam Deck so far thanks to the testing targeting 30 FPS. Many took that to mean that most games will run at 30 FPS on the portable PC. But Valve has since clarified the statement, saying, "Games we've tested and shown have consistently met and exceeded the 30 FPS bar so far." They also confirmed the operating system will offer a global FPS limiter that users can enable to extend battery life. Mortal Kombat 11 is officially NetherRealm's best-selling game. It sold more than 12 million copies since launch. The franchise's sales record was previously held by Mortal Kombat 10, which had sold almost 11 million copies since launch. Total sales for the franchise are around 73 million units sold. Before we get on to our final story today, we hope you'll consider subscribing. We cover gaming news, Battlefield, and much more. If you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button and enable notifications. It keeps you in the loop whenever we upload and helps more people find our videos. Now, you may not have friends that play the same video games as you, but you'll always have family thanks to this mod for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that adds Vin Diesel's character from the Fast and Furious franchise as a playable character. The mod replaces Darth Maul with Dom Toretto. Memes based on Dom's love of family took the internet by storm this month, and I gotta say the mod is pretty hilarious and gives everyone using it a sense of pride and accomplishment. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the mod is publicly available yet. It's not on Nexus or ModDB. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.